Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rappin' Wrestling. It's your boy T the Monster. You know, right back into it with another episode of Raw over in Europe. They were over in Sweden. Not Sweden, I'm sorry. No, yeah, they were in Sweden. Was it Sweden? Where were they? I'm sorry, Scotland. They were in Scotland. My bad. They were over in Scotland today because they were supposed to have Joe Hendry there, per the rumors. But anyway, if you haven't, be sure to comment, like, and share on all that good stuff here on the channel. We are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's go ahead and get right into it, starting with the first segment. And as of always, I got my notes here with me. So, first segment, of course, John Cena came out to the ring, and it kind of felt like a rerun of last week a little bit, with John Cena coming out and giving a promo. Of course, this time it didn't run over, which is good, so thank you, John, for not taking up people's time. John Cena came out there and, well, he kind of cut a promo on the crowd yet again, and mentioned how we pretty much cooked them back 20 years ago for the spinner belt and how it was the worst design that ever existed for a championship belt. He talked about how he grilled the innocent little child, of course, and how he became a meme. And more importantly, what I want to get into is John Cena actually went out there and said, like, of course, like I said, he was slow and methodical and everything when it came out, but like now this boy went out there and said he gonna ruin wrestling. And it's like, bro, how the fuck you gonna do that? How are you gonna ruin wrestling? And John Cena said that his intentions are to win his 17th title at WrestleMania and then walk out. Very CM Punk like, if you ask me. So of course that prompted Cody to come out and say, you're not gonna walk out, you gotta go through me, all that kind of stuff. Overall, I give this promo like a 8. You can see Cena like finally like leaning into being a heel, you know, and like playing around with the crowd a little bit too, getting them to cheer. Like when they were saying "fuck you, Cena," you saw him like smile a little bit and stuff like that too. So it's good to see John Cena out here having fun with being a heel, seeing that he's been a face the last 20 years or so too. So one time for the crowd over there in Scotland, of course, being hot as always when it comes to European crowds. And it was nice to see Cena like kind of like deliver a promo where it's like, hey man, I'm a heel. Being slow, he wasn't as quick-witted and he wasn't joking around as we've seen him do, and you know, as he was as a face. Of course, like I said, Cody coming out being ready to fight, Cena exiting the ring and leaving and walking away. Great heel move, of course. I kind of like how WWE are kind of keeping these two separate, but I do think that Cody need to get in there and start whooping some ass, because last time you ran into John Cena, he beat the shit out of you in the ring and you got slapped by Travis Scott. On some real life shit, if I got slapped by Travis Scott and bloodied by someone, and the next time I see them, I'm not going to be talking to them. I'm going to want to whoop their ass. So let's see what they do. Going into Raw next week, I believe that they are in London, continuing on with the Europe tour. So that was the first segment. So like I said, he's going to ruin wrestling. Let's see what he does to ruin wrestling. I don't think he will, but we'll see. The next thing that happened, of course, there was a Uso reunion. We saw the Usos rather, going up against A-Town Down Under, being Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. So this match, of course, I want to talk about. I mean, it was great seeing the Usos together, of course. Nice seeing them together. Legendary tag team, them winning as many championships as they have, being in the bloodline, of course, all that stuff. But what I want to talk about is what happened afterwards, and more so of the backstage segment that Jimmy and Jay had, where Jay was sitting on the stairs. His big brother comes to comfort him, like, yo, yeah, you not gonna be Gunther, because who is this, basically? And you know, him slipping in the ring and everything. I see that they're trying to build the storyline about him, you know, not having his moves and him slipping and going to go find himself, etc. I like the storyline, but it's like, for this to be believable for me as a fan, nothing against Jay and stuff like that. Jay is Samoan, okay? Like, he's Samoan, and you have to understand he came from the bloodline, and very, very similar to what Jimmy said. We got to see main event right-hand man Jay Uso, get him in there with a chair, let him wear Gunther ass out with the chair. That's what we have to see, something like that. Because Jay put in the sleeper holes, and then I can't do it. As a fan, it's like, all right, I get what you guys are doing, trying to build him to be the underdog and make a very Daniel Bryan-like win for him at WrestleMania. However, it's only so much where it's like, all right, bro, like, give me something for him. I know we got 3-4 weeks left for WrestleMania. What is it, 24th today? I know we got like 4 weeks left of 4 weeks until WrestleMania. So let's get this going to where we can see, like, you know, let's Let's make this feud worth something. Let's make it mean something. Of course, we know they're going to put on a nice match. Gunther being, of course, the wrestler he is. Jay got some, I mean, people, I've seen them talking about Jay saying he's limited when it comes to moves and things like that. But Jay got some moves that he can bring out for sure. And I just want to make sure that, you know, it's a solid build to this amazing match and this amazing finish that we can have for this match once the crowd goes crazy for Jay. It needs to all mean something. It needs to all be cohesive. So that's just me. Jay did need to, he did botch a little bit by saying he was 3-0 against Gunther, when in actuality he is 0-3 against Gunther. So he has that going against him. If this was an NBA series, he'd be getting ready to get his ass swept. But one thing I think that they need to do for Jay, just to kind of like storyline wise, and then just to kind of make it like believable and help him get that push to doing this shit, I think that they need to do a segment where Jay is actually talking to Roman real quick, or he runs into Roman backstage. Roman's like, you know, you got this, you know what I'm saying? You're in the bloodline. I made you my right-hand man for a reason, da-da-da-da-da. I think that'll give Jay the confidence they need for him to succeed in this feud and to win, and, you know, to kind of help him believe in himself. One more thing I want to get into about this feud, and I thought it was like fucking hilarious when this happened, is Jimmy slapped the shit out of Gunther. He smacked the Gunther out of Gunther. And so don't know if that, I mean, I'm sure it was scripted and everything like that, but looking at Gunther's face after that, Gunther was like, damn, it wasn't supposed to be that fucking hard. Like, you could see Gunther look like he was gonna cry a little bit after he laughed. He looked like he cried to stop himself from, or he laughed to stop himself from crying. Jimmy out here Samoan slapping people. So I just thought that was funny. I just wanted to add that in there real quick. But moving on, of course, to the Io, Bianca, and Rhea triple threat. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen the same thing 3 weeks in a row now, and it's like, all right, what are we doing? Because it's like, as someone, again, who's watching wrestling, it's becoming the same thing over and over and again. It's like, I'm not sure if they're just using these as filler weeks to WrestleMania to get the real amped up stuff coming up in the next 4 weeks. But it's like, literally, you gave us the last 3 weeks of the exact same segment with the exact same people involved in different locations. Last week, it was a whole putting the hands in the face thing, It was that this week, and it was this 2 weeks ago. So I need this to, like, if this is supposed to be the coronation of Io or whatever the case may be, I need this feud to be fire. And by fire, I mean, like, I need it to be more than just Bianca waiting on Io to hit a certain spot in the match after a brawl. I need it to not be a bunch of impromptu chain wrestling, because I know all three of these women are very talented. I want to see them, like, step out of their box when it comes to this. I want to see heel tactics from Bianca Belair. I want to see Io give me some of that independent shit, and I want to see Rhea be mommy, not the person who's complaining about losing. So that's just my thing on it. On seeing the last same three things, seeing the last same things in the last 3 weeks. I can't speak right now, but I think that this feud needs a very big shot in the arm, because, like, again, it's the last 3 weeks has been literally a copycat of each other. So let's see what they have going forward, going into London next week, and hopefully we get something, you know, different. Next, Adam Pearce. Now, I want to talk about him real quick, because goddamn it, Adam Pearce, you need to get this shit together. Everybody's running all over you on Monday Night Raw. Your character's getting ran over. And if this is the character, of course, this is great, because you have me, someone who's watching it, buying into this shit. And that's the whole reason why I watched it in the first place. But Adam Pearce's character is getting ran over by his talent is more so like the prisoners running the asylum there on Monday Night Raw. And I need you to get it together, goddammit. I need you to get it together, because back in the day, Vince McMahon would have Shane McMahon on the ready to take over Monday Night Raw when shit like this was going on. So get that shit together, bro. You like you over there about to crash out and shit. Like you was finna crash out on everybody who walked in the office on Monday Night Raw. Great acting from Adam Pearce. I fuck with him. I just want you to know, though, Adam Pearce, if you ever watch this, Nick Aldis would never have this happen on his watch. So, moving on to the next segment, of course, we had Dragon Lee versus this, I'm going to just say Americana Gable. That's what I'm going to say, because obviously we know what's going on here. So, and yes, this is a joint in my hand. So we have Dragon Lee going up against Americana Gable, and he took his mask off, took his fucking mask off. Now, as a luchador, that's the biggest form of like, oh my God, I lose my mask, they can't see my face type shit. So if that, it almost looked like it wasn't scripted, but I can tell that it was. Excuse me. And with it being scripted, great way to a finish. Like, I haven't seen a finish like that in some time now, like since WCW days on some Juventud shit. So I just want to know though, like with a feud like this, like with these two, we know that Chad was supposed to go off and learn the different styles of luchador and everything like that, but what is the real payoff with this? Like, does this culminate to a match at Mania against Dragon Lee and the LWO, or is this just like some side quest, side story shit, and we're trying to figure out if we're going to put these two in the match in the next couple weeks? What is the payoff with this? We need to know as a fan. Just saying. Speaking on behalf of my people. Next, of course, CM Punk came out and delivered a promo about what happened last week and talked about how everything going on between him, Seth, and Roman is personal, and he talked about how Seth basically doesn't want to see him get his main event role, and talked about how Roman and him share the same wise man. Now, that leads me to think that coming into WrestleMania, or at WrestleMania rather, the finish is going to be involving Paul Heyman to some extent. So let's see what happens with that. I think I saw something online that read that maybe Seth Rollins is the next Paul Heyman guy. Who sees? We'll see. Who knows? But one time for CM Punk, of course, holding it down, seeing that the other two talent a part of this feud weren't there this week in Scotland. I believe they will be there next week in London. But I do like how Punk kind of brought up the history from 10 years ago. He mentioned how he brought them into the WWE, which this is true. The Shield did debut protecting CM Punk, I think at Survivor Series in 2012. And so I love how they, of course, long-term storytelling, and then going back to mentioning that and staying with the continuity behind that as well. And then one thing I do want to talk about that I didn't like about this is the fact that CM Punk mentioned there's going to be another fucking contract signing. And it's like, I get it's WrestleMania season. I get we want to get all these kind of matches solidified and taken care of and let the fans know what's going on. But how many contract signings has there been in multiple feuds in this WrestleMania build-up? I feel, and again, I'm obviously not a writer for WWE yet. They are hiring. But it's like, I feel when you start to show the kind of the same things in different feuds, there's going to be a contract signing here with Io, with Rhea, with Bianca. Oh, there's going to be a contract signing for another triple threat with Roman, with Seth, and with Punk. It's like, give me something different. I see that happening. I just saw this 20 minutes ago on the same show before you guys went to commercial break. You know, so it's like, I get it, you guys want to build up the suspense and everything, but we also know, as a fan, if you've been watching as long as I have, we know how these contract signings are going to end. There's going to be a brawl, someone's going to get their ass kicked, Michael Cole's going to lose his voice damn near, and it's going to go off air. I saved it for you. There you go. Just saying, like, you know, let's change this shit up. And then lastly, of course, the main event of the night, of course, we have Bron Breakker versus Penta. Now, these two had a great match, very similar to the match last week with Bron Breakker and Finn Balor. Penta and Breakker had a great match, of course, but the ending to me was kind of flat. It ended on a disqualification, and it was kind of weird because you giving Penta a chair and you trying to see if he wants to join the Judgment Day or not. Speaking of Judgment Day, I think they're about to be coming to an end very, very soon. Very soon, and because it's like, well, of course, I don't know if y'all peeped that. Finn was finna crack Diamond to hit with that chair at first. You know what I'm saying? He saw him jump at him at first and then handed him the chair, and it's like, oh, what was that, Finn? What's going on here? Huh? But interesting to see with that. I like the chemistry that they all have in the ring together, and it'll be interesting to see what happens at Mania. I think there is going to be a multi-man match for the Intercontinental Championship. I think it'll be Bron Breakker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the United States Championship. If I'm right, cool. If I'm wrong, I think that Bron is still going to come out on that as the champion, and maybe we see a Rey Fenix appearance over at WrestleMania. Hey. But that's all I have for you for this week's episode. Of course, be sure to comment, like, and share if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year this year. And also, of course, we're trying to bring WrestleMania to Detroit by 2030. So, I'll see you next week. Peace.